Welcome, Theatre Addicts. I'm Melanie Owen, and we are here today to talk about Bonnie and Clyde, which you can see at the Vancouver Fringe Festival. And I'm here with the Ordinary Productions team, Louise Campbell, and Kennedy Sloan, and Emmett Lee Stang. And you're going to see the Bonnie and Clyde at the Culch, and is part of the Dramatic Work series. So I'm curious about your Fringe experience. I hear, Louise, you've been to the Edmonton Fringe?
I've been in the Edmonton Fringe as a performer, so a few times before I moved out to Vancouver. I was there as a performer. This is my first time as a director for any Fringe festival, and it's very exciting.
And what's your favorite thing about Fringe in general, Fringe festivals?
That you never know what fantastic piece of work you're going to get. Something special can, a diamond in the rough can come out of nowhere, and you know, the excitement of lining up, trying to get tickets, and figuring out who's going to have great ratings, and then wanting to see that show because you know it's something special. Just knowing that can happen for anyone, and anyone can have that piece of theater magic is really special. Fringe.
Thank you. Kennedy, you've also been at Edmonton Fringe?
Yes.
Yes, and what's your favorite Fringe?
My favorite part about the Fringe would be just the way the community comes together, and I always find you get a lot of people that you wouldn't think would work together who try something new. Anything from clowns to improv to acrobatics. It's very exciting.
Yeah, excellent. And I hear this is your first Fringe.
It
So
is.
what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the whole experience because there's a lot obviously coming into it that I hear from other people, and just in general how excited people are about doing it, since it's really, you really get a sense of the love of theater that people have in something like this. So I'm excited to see what happens, and all the other great shows that are going to be up at the same time as us.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. So Bonnie and Clyde is part of the Dramatic Work series. Louise, could you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Absolutely. So the Dramatic Work series is shows that have been published. So they're not local playwrights. It's not something you write at home for your friends or your family. It's something that has been published and has had generally a first run or a touring run before it is available to purchase the rights to perform. So you're getting really fantastic quality writing, as these are reputable shows that people have come to see in other places in the world. Maybe I believe this is the BC premiere of Bonnie and Clyde. I know that it has definitely played once in Alberta for the Edmonton Fringe, but other than that, I don't think it's played anywhere else in Canada. So you're going to get to see some new playwrights, maybe. Adam Peck's from England, and so you get the chance to just sort of see some work that's already kind of out there in the world, but a new take, or our take on it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Ordinary Productions is a Vancouver-based theatre production company, and you had an appearance at Jericho Arts Centre, is that right?
Yeah, our first show. So Ordinary Productions was my baby, my brainchild in the past few years, when I realized that there's a market for some unique theater in the city that can keep sustaining itself year round. And so our first show this year was in the Jericho Arts Centre. It was a show called Women in War, and it was actually with a full teenage ensemble, sort of dealing with some really adult material, but a teenage ensemble of performers who were between the ages of 13 and 19, who wanted to be doing adult work. We had a great run at Jericho, and so we're going to continue the young company aspect of Ordinary, but we're also working on shows with professional actors like these two wonderful people here as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Excellent. And so you've been just around a couple of years.
Yeah. I would say this is our year and a half, 2 year. We're entering into the 2-year moment where we're really starting to hammer down what are our aesthetic, what do we want to do, how do we want to present ourselves to the city, and just want to continuously make good work, great work, and do some things that are different. Every show is going to be different. You're never going to see the same thing. It won't just be musicals. It won't just be dramatic pieces. It won't be period pieces. This is a period piece, sort of, but it will always be a new show. And we believe at The Ordinary that theater and magic is in ordinary moments and ordinary moments in life. And so that we want to show those, all of the different types of ordinary moments for different people.
Brilliant. Thank you. And why Bonnie and Clyde then?
Well, I'll let them also talk about Bonnie and Clyde, but why Bonnie and Clyde? The script itself, just to start, it was fantastically written. It is beautiful, beautiful words that and shows them in a way, a really human light, not a Robin Hood stealing from the rich, giving to the poor, taking back, but a human light where they are flawed and dark and hurting, and that it has to be a lot of hurt to drive someone to do the things that they did. And so we get to see a more intimate glimpse of who they were, and I think that Vancouver audiences are going to be really interested in that.
That sounds really exciting.
Yeah, it is.
I'm so excited.
Excited.
Kennedy, what does it mean for you?
Yeah, I was really drawn to it, mainly I think of the quote, well-behaved women rarely make history. And Bonnie is one of those women. She's one of those first women that really got publicized because she was out there nitty-gritty and just going for it. And I really liked that. And the more I researched her, the more I got really excited about it. So, yeah, that's
Excellent. And Emma, for you, Bonnie and Clyde, what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's something, having grown up partly in the States, it's one of those iconic stories in time that you learn about, and you get a flavor for what that must have been for people that were experiencing them as their rise to their kind of stardom. But this actual play does, as we've been talking about, strip some of the ideas away of what we might think, gets into the people themselves. And also, there's a really cool flavor to this play in particular, which is almost abstract. And so it's not your average kind of two people reacting to each other constantly. There's a real sense of art that comes through this particular piece. And so for us actors, we get to explore multi-dimensions of what Bonnie and Clyde might be.
That's a good point. We often see them as one-dimensional. They're this,
Yeah.
right? And what about the creation and the rehearsal process of this? I'll start here on this side.
Yeah, I've been talking a lot about this recently, and the cool thing about theater and art is that I like not knowing what happens as you do it. Every time it's hard to have something set where you go, okay, every time I'm doing a show or I'm doing a film or I'm doing this TV thing, I'm going to do the exact same thing every time. That never happens. You have a process, and if there's anything that's similar, a thread for all of your work, it's the fact that you do make discoveries. But what kind of discoveries you make, how you make them, it's different every time, and that's what's really addictive about what we do.
Excellent. And for you, the creation and rehearsal process, what does it mean like?
I don't think I could say it any better than what Emma just said.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's been the exciting part of working with Louise and Emmett is that every rehearsal we go in and we learn something new about the character or about the play and just kind of shed some more light on it. Yeah.
Excellent. Louise, you have a different
Yeah.
different perspective as a director. Yes.
The perspective of the director has been super exciting with these two performers especially, but the work itself gives so much to them, and then they're giving so much back. And I think, I always say at the beginning of rehearsals that the best idea at the table wins. I don't have the monopoly on answers, they don't have the monopoly on answers, and so sometimes they'll present or they'll try something, and it's totally different than what I had envisioned or saw, but it works, and it works better, or it works differently, and it opens up a whole new conversation and a whole new vein that we can take something in, and they just continuously offer and offer and offer, which is every director is so lucky to have these two as performers with the offers that they give. So the rehearsal process has just been fantastic because it's every day I leave feeling lighter that we've explored something, gone a little further, gone a little deeper, tried something new. Some things don't work, and that's the best part too, figuring out what does and doesn't, but just really having a collaborative team where it doesn't feel like I have to dictate. They're just going to give more each day to me is wonderful.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. All right, this is it. We have our audience here. What do they need to know about the production? What would you like to say to the audience?
I think if you're looking to have a roller coaster ride, come see us at this show at Bonnie and Clyde, because you're not going to know what we're going to do. We may not even know what we're going to do. And that is why this play is so exciting, and the way Louise is directing us is so fun and satisfying for us, is that we're really going to give you a show, and you're going to go through a million different feelings. So we'll see you there.
I would say how relevant it still is. Everything that happened in the play is based on real life. find them. But it's still so relevant on how, like, celebrity-wise and how we make everything up or how we fantasize about it. And I think it's such a great learning experience that, you know, it's been, I don't know, 80 years and we're still kind of run the same way.
Everything you said is all of the above. It's this beautiful, living, breathing entity of theater, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. But I want you to come see it. So in order to do that, if you have a Fringe book, it's the top of page 54 in the Fringe book. You can find us at the Culch Van City Lab. Our first show is September 7th in the evening. I believe it's 7:55 p.m., but that's in the book as well as on the Fringe website. And yeah, it's just a fantastic, intimate piece of theater where you're going to learn a little bit about people you think you know, but you don't probably really know. So come see our show.
Excellent, thank you. Thank you. I am Melody Owen. I am here with Louise Campbell, Kennedy Sloan, Emmett Lee Stang, and we are talking about Bonnie and Clyde, which you can see at the Vancouver Fringe Festival at the Culch, and it is part of the Dramatic Works series. So I'll see you there.